trailer for the highly anticipated Sekiro anime dropped the other day, and it was accompanied by a metric ton of controversy. Yet another One Punch Man Season 3 event concluded with absolutely no new information or footage being revealed. A Sakamoto Days redemption arc might be upon us, and Bunny Girl Senpai Season 2 is the best thing currently airing. Welcome back to another episode of This Month in Anime. Are we on time? Of course not, but we move. Make sure to subscribe. I can't come up with a clever joke. I'm burned out from editing that Ufotable video. Just do it. Just press the subscribe button. It takes a second. You can also become a member of this channel. Members get at least 2 exclusive videos per month, such as the exclusive Q&A I'll record right after this video, custom badges and emojis, shoutouts and more. Just go down there and press the join button.
Accusations! These are not accusations. This is false accusation.
The Sekiro situation. That's such a stereotypical drama YouTuber way of phrasing it. I feel like pyrocynical. Anyway, the Sekiro situation is really fucking stupid, and it's the topic I want to dedicate most of this video to. For those of you who have an active social life and don't live on Twitter, here's what happened. A trailer for the anime adaptation of the popular FromSoft video game Sekiro Shadows Die Twice came out the other day, and well, controversy, lots and lots of controversy. Now, myself and almost everyone else who's a part of that niche Sakuga community knew about this project and the person leading it for over a year now. It got leaked a while back, and naturally, we were excited. A high-profile anime led by the one and only Kenichi Kutsuna, we couldn't wait. And to the surprise of absolutely none of us, the trailer looked gorgeous. Insane stylish character art, top-notch movement, the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, not everyone thought that way. There are 2 major controversies surrounding the Sekiro anime, the first and the stupider one being the fact that the casual anime fan is allergic to anything that looks even remotely different from that standard anime style. The idea of art not being confined to any one look makes their blood boil, creativity gets under their skin, and style makes them yell out the words bad animation. As such, people who know absolutely nothing about art and animation jumped on the Sekiro anime, calling it lazy and bad and everything in between. Now, that phenomena itself isn't surprising whatsoever. Anime fans have been hating on creative looking shows and episodes since the dawn of time. That's nothing new, but this situation is a bit confusing because Sekiro doesn't even look that different. Yes, the art style is a bit more renegade, a bit less epigonic. How's that for pretentious adjective choices? But overall, it looks fairly normal, doesn't it? There's nothing about this project that's so overly idiosyncratic that it'd send the nearest casual anime fan into an artistic conservatism-driven epileptic fit upon exposure. That was such a needlessly complicated sentence. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Sekiro doesn't look as different as, say, a Masaki Yuasa work or a Naruto vs. Pain. A fight director Kutsuna did a lot of work for, by the way. It looks different, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look different enough to elicit such a strong reaction from the fans. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you outsource your thinking to the nearest engagement bait Twitter account. Anyway, that was one of the 2 controversies I mentioned near the start. The other and more poignant topic is Sekiro and the use of generative AI in animation. Now, first things first, let me clarify my stance on AI art. I think it's completely and utterly repulsive, and I think less of those who unironically enjoy it. I think it has no place in any creative endeavor, not as a replacement for artists and not as a tool for them. With that being said, I think this entire Sekiro situation was extremely stupid, albeit not entirely unnecessary. Here's the plot summary. Sekiro is produced by Studio QZL.LA, I don't know how to say it, and the studio openly brags on their own website about using AI to quote-unquote disrupt the industry, which I guess is a cute punk rock way of saying to make hundreds of artists lose their jobs and wring the soul and passion that makes anime special out of it. Very scummy, yes, extremely scummy. Naturally, people were skeptical of the Sekiro anime, and they had a reason to be, especially if they weren't familiar with the staff involved. It's perfectly normal to question a studio that openly brags about using AI. That's fine. The problem, however, was their sheer refusal to admit that they were wrong, to see the metaphorical light even when the metaphorical flashlight was aimed directly at their faces. The fact that the project is being led by the likes of Kenichi Kutsuna and Takashi Mukoda, or the fact that it was being worked on since before generative AI was a thing, should have been enough to convince everyone, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Fans started scanning the trailer frame by frame to find minor, inconsequential drawing errors to use as evidence of AI usage. This tiny in-betweening error with the artist mistook a knuckle for an additional finger, for example. Apparently, animators aren't allowed to make minor mistakes anymore. The way fans behaved throughout this entire debacle to me felt less like a crusade against AI, a genuine cancer that needs to be nipped in the bud, and more like a case of digital dogpiling done purely for the sake of winning over internet brownie points. It was quite infuriating. Thankfully, the whole issue got resolved quickly thanks to a concise statement published by the studio confirming the obvious fact that no Gen AI was used while making the anime. Now, while this whole fiasco was unfortunate, there is a silver lining. The glass is in fact half full. Regardless of how needlessly hostile the fan reception towards this project was, at least the hostility was aimed at the right place, towards a genuine evil, that being AI. It wasn't just fans going, I don't know, CGI bad. Their hearts were in the right place, basically, and I hope they can keep that energy up when a studio inevitably caves in and uses AI for real. On top of all that, this entire situation sent a clear message to major companies within the anime space, especially Crunchyroll. It told them exactly what us fans think of the use of AI in animation, so much so that they had to publish an entire statement about it. I do genuinely believe that this was a step in the right direction. Moving on, One Punch Man Season 3. What a mess. The show had a panel at Anime NYC recently, and in it, they revealed a crucial piece of information. Information so unbelievable, so groundbreaking that it caught all of us by surprise. Ready? Here goes. They said they were working on it. Cue the explosions. No trailer, no actual information, just, hey, remember that show that's set to air in 2 months? We're working on it, we promise. Which is just so unfortunate. There's not much else to add, really. Lord knows what they are planning. I feel like I should say a bit more to justify One Punch Man being in the title, but I'll be honest, I got nothing. Just felt the need to inform you lot that yet another One Punch Man event came and went without any new information or footage being revealed. Once again, we got nothing.
My God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay calm!
Quick seasonal recap. Sakamoto Days Core 2 has been a solid viewing experience so far with a couple of impressive animation highlights. While I do find it incredibly difficult to get invested in this show given its overly unserious nature, I am enjoying the current arc, albeit in a very superficial sense, and one of the main reasons behind it is the occasionally great animation. Episode 16, for example, featured a ton of smooth, energetic, heavy action directed/animated entirely by Tetsuya Ishikawa, and episode 17 featured an insanely ambitious, complex action sequence, complete with large-scale background animation drawn by the one and only Fujio Suzuki. Good stuff. Of course, for the millionth time, Core 1 did not look bad, but you'd be hard-pressed to find something this ambitious in it, so Core 2 has been somewhat of a step up so far. Again, good stuff. Bunny Girl Senpai Season 2. What a show. Now, a bit of context. Bunny Girl Senpai Season 1 is one of my all-time favorite seasons of anime. I think it's phenomenal, but over the years I found myself wondering if it really was that good, or was the inexperienced me from back in the day way too easily impressed? Well, Season 2 gave me the answer to that question very quickly. That being, yes, it really was that good, and it still is. Every single character interaction, the snappy dialogue, the character conflicts, everything about this show is damn near perfect. Bunny Girl Senpai Season 2, in my opinion, is easily the most entertaining/engaging show currently airing. It's just so good. And while we're on the topic of Cloverworks produced rom-coms that air on Saturdays, My Dress Up Darling Season 2 has been a joy to watch. Between the likable characters and the fun, endearing interactions between them and the outstanding production value, Dress Up Darling has been a highlight of this season for several weeks in a row. Besides that, we have the thick Geology Girl anime, that one's fun. We have Call of the Night Season 2 with its surprisingly engaging character drama and phenomenal, occasionally ADHD-ridden direction. We have Dandadan Season 2 with its quirky, fun writing and style. We have Kachiyakuta, a possible action shonen with solid visuals. We have The Summer Hikaru Died, a unique, well-directed show that, to be honest, is slowly losing me. We have The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, truly one of the shows of all time. We have the spectacular City the animation. We have a bunch of major titles. Let me know which shows you're enjoying the most down in the comments, and that's it. Thanks for watching. A special thanks to Nude03, Pavel and Amir for becoming tier 3 members, and until next time.